Alright, now we have returned and we are going to do Life in the Dream House, Volume 10, Route to the second route. Let's see what kind of shenanigans this alternative path brings us. Alright, warnings. Let's see, what do you got to say? So far, these have not been... No warning. Oh, perfect. I don't even have to care about that then. Every single time. Anyway, so, without further ado, Volume 10, Route 2, Life in the Dream House. As you've had the occasion to remark before, Alternia is a dark world. Yeah, no shit. Currently it's very dark. Both because it's night all day long, and because of its hideously brutal society, where the strong prey on the weak prey on the weaker, and all this preying ends only when the survivors are shipped out to prey on everyone else in the galaxy. Yeah, that's pretty bleak. Pretty fucked up. Alternia's cruelty has been on your mind for a long time, but recently it's begun to feel intolerable. You decide to take a walk in the woods to calm yourself. But it seems that with every step your mood only grows darker, your agitation greater. As you walk, you remember the names of Alternian friends who have fallen to the planet's injustices, and your mood goes from bad to worse. Yeah, that happened. That did happen, that's, alright. You've been waiting around like a spoiled, self-centered narrative device for a lightning bolt of illumination to reveal your reason for living. Well, let's give us one then, eh? To explain your peculiar and insatiable hunger for friendship, and to show you the destiny attached to it. You think you know who caused this, but why? You've been sitting here like a child waiting for a teacher to explain the answer to a difficult math question. Vriska and Terezi are arming up to change the world. And what are you doing? Your usual bullshit. You're thinking. You're navel-gazing. It's important stuff to do, you know? Thinking is important. Thinking is very important. That's how you make decisions on what to do. Typically. I mean, I don't do a lot of thinking, I just do, so I guess that argument is out the window, but nevertheless, I am an exception. Oftentimes. No, I'm not. I'm just a fucking idiot, like everyone else. And then, with a sudden blinding clarity, you understand. Vriska is right. Terezi is right. The answer is a revolution. Yeah. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Take up arms. And do the revolution thingy. Who gives a shit? Nobody. That's who. Or everybody. Depending on what the question is. Who cares what some big dumb universe thinks your destiny should be? Well, fucking nobody. You'll take Dream Boulder's advice and choose your own fate. Take the answer to the meaning of your life into your own hands. Set your own course. Fuck yeah, there we go. The gods, the fates, the universe, or whoever will have to jump back pretty sharply, because your direction is clear to you at last. Excellent, Stickman has decided. Your agitation turns to indignation, your indignation to outrage, outrage to anger, anger to fury, fury to ferocity, ferocity to white-hot resolve. White-hot resolve to agony, to pain, to suffering. To... What did the Yoda say? I already forget in that bullshit, like, interchangeable things that are totally interchangeable. This is the same, basically, right? The horrors of this plan have got to stop, and you are feeling particularly dramatic today. Fuck yeah, let's go. Ham it up. Doubtless due to in part to the shift in narrative tone and general prose quality in this episode. Authors giving themselves a handshake. No, not a pat on the back. There we go. That's the thing, not a handshake. You don't shake your own hand. It's actually kind of awkward to do. Like, you have to invert one, or you have to like do both of them sideways. It's very weird. It's very hard to shake your own hand. It's very awkward. That's why people don't do it. So now is the time. Alternia's cruelty and violence have upset and shocked you since you arrived, but as more and more of the population suffering under these wrongs have become your personal friends, it has become unbearable. You've been wondering all along, who will make it stop? You let us. Now you know the answer. If you are the main character, which we are, then you have to be the one to get the ball rolling. and you've begun to suspect that you can't die for reasons seemingly tied to your function as a narrative device. Correct? Because if we die, we can just reload and like start over to get the correct path. So that's a bit of characterization you can bring to bear. No longer will you linger in the wings, waiting for the narrative to summon you to heroics. With this momentous decision girding you for unstinging effort, you set your mind to the question of how to accomplish it. You start by making an inventory of the strengths and weaknesses you possess and can bring to bear on the task. Strengths. Number 1. Experience drumming up friendship in the most unlikely situations. Number 2. Ability to travel instantaneously anywhere you want to go. That's pretty good. Weaknesses. Everything else. Right, well, hey, those first 2 are pretty big. We can work with that. This helpful mental exercise clarifies matters significantly. You see clearly that the only way for a single humble being such as yourself to change Alternia is to go directly to the point of maximum leverage. In other words, straight to the top. You'll need both of your resources in this quest. You'll need to travel superhumanly and superliminally into the immediate company of Alternia's ruler and throw your full friendship game on them, with the objective of persuading them to initiate reforms, change rules, and set the planet on a course to civilization. But your darting intellect realizes something else. It won't be easy, no shit. No fucking shit. Darting intellect. The ruler of the world, such as Alternia, must be a fearsome, fell creature, a monster of no ordinary loathsomeness and cruelty. No, they ain't no monsters. Ain't no monsters in charge, they're just people, still. And I bet it's gonna be some kind of... someone lonely, someone like... I don't know. On Alternia, you've seen gigantic ravening Lucii, genocidal clowns, murderous high-bloods, and every kind of grisly crime to a point making belief in Santa Claus almost impossible. It stands to reason that the leader of such a world must also be the cruelest, gruesomest, most terrifying being of them all. A being of nearly impossible evil. It's gonna be a cute little chubby guy, isn't it? Or gal. For the first time since this plan caught fire in your mind, a whisper of doubt creeps in. It occurs to you that the most likely outcome of your quest for the reformation of Alternia is a scenario where your internal organs are festooned over a wide area, your eyes popped out of your skull, and your brain splattered to a fine mist. While experience suggests that you're non-killable, that sort of thing may offend, not to mention be excruciatingly painful, yes. Maybe it would be a better idea to have a light lunch and lie down until your reforming mood passes. Come on, press on fearlessly with your quest. Scorning all difficulties, you decide to press on fearlessly with your quest. You gather yourself, consign your soul to heaven or whatever, and prepare for the worst. You close your eyes and think, take me to the highest being on Alternia. Phrasing, word choice, highest. Highest. Oh, we're gonna meet a weed guy, ain't we? Wait, but said no warnings. So, would it include use of drugs or something like that? I don't remember, I think it did. It gave warnings for all sorts of things that never really seemed to be all that important or relevant. But whatever. Then you grit your teeth and prepare for the ultimate horror. You feel the familiar sensation of superhuman, superluminal travel, and the world changes around you, rendering you somewhere else. Somewhere that feels quite different from your previous forest location. Very different, actually. A lot wetter. Okay, we're in the ocean. Under the ocean, even. It quickly becomes apparent that there's a good news and bad news. Well, highest is under the ocean, sure. Oh, hello. Ah, well, you're cute. The good news is that instead of an eldritch monster, you've materialized next to a rather pleasant-looking troll girl with fins on her head and wearing goggles and a tiara. The bad news is that you're drowning, right, as you seem to have materialized in the middle of an ocean. Your own greeting may seem a bit less cheery in that it consists of thrashing wildly with your eyes bugging out as you fight not to inhale, while trying to concentrate on zapping yourself the heck out of there. The troll girl watches in astonishment, but suddenly seems to understand. You see her take a big breath of water through some gills on her back, and then something starts to come out of her mouth. A bubble. Hey, there we go, it's the Sonic thing and all the video game things. Inhale the bubble. Poof. The bubble expands and expands until you feel its boundary break over you, and suddenly you can breathe. You collapse coughing and gasping onto its floor, which feels like the inside of a huge submerged balloon, which it is, yielding but effectively keeping the water at bay. The troll girl sits across from you in the bottom of the bubble, studying you curiously and anxiously. Are you okay? Recovering from a brush with drowning, you're able to notice with relief that despite her conversational quirks, she looks friendly, even glad to see you. You try to say something, but all that comes out of your mouth is water and a spluttering sound. Okay, look, give us a minute. Give us a minute, we almost just drowned. I don't speak whatever language that is. That's very pretty though. You burp and some water trickles out of your ears. Sorry, I still don't understand. Do you speak any Alternian? With a great effort, you gasp, yes. Oh, this is a nice track, actually. This is an interesting track. Oh, yay! My name is Feferi. Pixis. What's your name? You bubble weakly. It's nice to meet you, Blub. You nod politely, expel another half-gallon of water. Jesus fucking Christ. Lung capacity on us is pretty good, apparently. Then weakly said that it's very nice to meet her too. Not least because if she hadn't been there, things might have gotten unpleasant for you. You're welcome. But what are you doing here? Ah, fucking water puns. Ah, I welcome them. Almost nobody comes this way. It's not really on the way to anymore. Oh, fucking hell. It's intertwined. Oh, goddamn. I'm gonna. Oh, this is gonna be a pain to read, isn't it? Fuck me. It's not really on the way to anemone where. Fuck, that's gonna be a pain in the ass. She looks sad when she says it, and you wonder that some poor troll child should be living all by herself way out in these submerged spots, so far from anyone. How'd you manage to appear from there? Like that? From nowhere like that? You almost gave me a heart attack. You tell her you were trying to use some superhuman powers you have to go visit the highest being on Alternia. The troll girl seems to perk up at this. You want to come visit me? You shake your head vigorously to try to get the water out of your ears. The troll girl looks disappointed. Well, look up. You didn't come to see me? Fucking all the puns. See. Ah, goddamn it. I mean, it's only possible in, like, English, more or less, because English has so many fucking words that sound the same yet are spelled completely differently, because fuck you. Go fuck yourself. That's why. You apologize and say that you're quite happy to be visiting her, but that you misheard her last remark. You thought she had implied that she was the highest being on Alternia. I mean, your powers are generally correct. She is wearing a tiara. So, yes. Just goes to show you how deep a submergence and waterlogging can cloud your hearing. Oh, no, Glub, you heard me, right? I am the highest being on Alternia, most of the time. I'm the future Empress, heiress to the throne of the Alternian Empire. Which is a great big glub pile of whale poop as far as I'm concerned. Ah, okay. Tyrant in the making, but not really a fan of that. What? You look around for the multiple razor-toothed, fire-breathing, acid-spitting heads, tearing claws, and bad attitude that you're sure Alternia's highest being must have. She hasn't hit puberty yet, okay? That happens later. Where she turns into an eldritch abomination. But then you start to remember your Alternian social science. You haven't had any formal Alternian education. You're not even sure narrative devices, how indispensable, are eligible to sign up for classes. But you pick this stuff up when you hang around the place long enough. So you know that the Empress spends most of her time off-planet leading merciless troll hordes in conquest of the galaxy. Ah, right, yes. Right, alright, yeah. You also know that there's only ever one other member of her royal fuchsia bloodline, the heiress, in existence at any time. As long as the Condess doesn't kill her on her rare visits to the home planet, that is. The troll girl clubs sadly, and you realize that being the only fuchsia blood on the planet must be lonely. Not only would you have enough strength to accidentally tear any troll who visited you limb from limb without noticing, but you've heard some sinister things about the heiress's lusus. Something about being the size of a continent, hungry as the void of space, and evil as the hell devils go to if they're bad devils. Something that might discourage casual visits by friends who don't want to double as snacks. Fair enough. But at the same time, you wonder that such a seemingly agreeable and sensitive troll as this girl could preside over such a grindingly horrible planet as Alterni. How can she live with herself? I mean, she did just say that she's not a fan. Does she even know what goes on outside her insular little ocean? But you put all that aside for now. Here you are, right where you wanted to be when you made your master plan for Alternian reform. You haven't been devoured, dismembered, or decapitated, and the person you want to persuade seems eminently persuadable, not to mention friendable. So, you're ahead of the game so far. Time to take full advantage. Your Royal Highness, you begin. Oh, fuck. Wrong. Come on. Pay attention to what she said. This whale poop of a thing. Come on. Call me Fef, Blub. It's much friendlier to be on a first name basis. And I'm so happy and excited to have another friend. Perfect phase 1 of your plan seems to have practically accomplished itself. But there's no time to waste, as the air in the bubble your new friend created is starting to get stuffy, and you know you're going to have to zap out of there soon. You mentioned in the casual, conversational tone that you've been visiting Alternia for some time now. Glub, do you like it? It's certainly unusual. That's putting it lightly. I'm sure everyone has been incredibly mean to you. Well, yes, to start off with, at least. I will be my friends. The Sea Dwellers think they're so much better than everybody else, but they're just a bunch of selfish, arrogant bastards. God damn it. The fish puns, the sea puns, the ocean. Fuck, it's gonna fucking murder my brain. The big shots prey on the low bloods, and no one cares how other people feel, or even if they live or die. Drones fly around, curling anybody weak or useless. Oh, well, she seems to know. Maybe she's got plans of her own. Phase 2 of your plan is half in the bag already. You feel dizzy suddenly at how your quest is working out without the least effort on your part. And also from lack of oxygen. Right, that's... sure. Look, we don't need that much oxygen to function. It's fine. You're gasping for breath, and the darkness is gathering at the edges of your vision. In about a minute, you're going to pass out from oxygen deprivation. What's to be done? You zap yourself the heck out of there and back to alternate surface where you can at least breathe, but we'll be leaving Fef. So that's a no-go. Stick around and test out the whole you can't die hypothesis. I mean, we can die if we pick a bad ending, so... yes. You're fading fast, a black tunnel is closing around you, and sounds are getting dim. You wiggle your fingers and try to gasp out of it an entreaty. Glub, are you okay, Blub? For reply, you clutch your throat, fall heavily to the floor, and lose consciousness. Aha, we can't die. You gradually regain consciousness, and as you do, you realize that air is going through your lungs. Fresh, oxygenated air. The most beautiful thing you've ever felt. Ah, yes. That's the only thing you need to appreciate all the good things in life. Just deprive yourself from them for a brief amount of time. And my God. Water. Just regular water. The best. The only drink you ever need. Seriously. The only drink you ever need. I don't drink anything else. Coffee, tea. I mean, sometimes I drink tea and juices, but like stuff like that. Carbonated things, fuck that. Those make, I cut myself off of them. And like a week later, I started feeling so much better. Fucking hell. God, you don't need that shit. Just drink water. It's more than enough, and it's delicious. Like, things are delicious only because you condition yourself to thinking they are or are not. It's all in the brain. It's all in the brain. Okay, fine. Some things that are actually like damaging to your body, your general first reaction is like appropriate. That, yeah, this is not good. But again, you condition yourself. People are able to condition themselves to liking pretty much anything, no matter how bad it is for you. That's how it works. We condition ourselves. It's all a mental game. It's all in the mind. It's all in the mind. You realize also that you're in a palatial, although messy, bedroom, and while you can see underwater realms outside the window, the room itself is dewatered. The fresh air seems to be coming from a large conch shell sitting on the floor nearby and humming quietly like an air purifier. You're swooned on a chase lounge and Feferi Paxis is fanning you with a large palm frond. Glub, are you alright, Blub? Why didn't you tell me you couldn't breathe? You scared the Piscean out of me. You struggle upright and try to smile bravely. You apologize for scaring her, but observe that one of the symptoms of not being able to breathe is not being able to talk. You thank her effusively for saving you. Glum, that's an empress's duty. Instead of encouraging people to be mean and hurt each other. For those not watching, like, she replaces the H's with like a close bracket, open bracket, but there's a space in between them, so it's like it's really fucking with my ability to read this thing. On top of the ocean puns. So that's why I'm having a little bit of struggles here. That's why I'm having a little bit of struggles on top of the usual reasons why I struggle to read things. Like, this is on top of that, okay? Close bracket, space, open bracket. It's really not helping me. It's really not helping me. Hurt each other. She should do whatever she can to help them. A tear comes to a tear. Another thing was the spelled identically, but pronounced differently, because fuck. And they're both like nouns. A tear and a tear. Like one is like to tear something apart, or there is a tear in the fabric of the universe, and a tear is falling from my eyes or something like that. Like, English! Go fuck yourself, English. You suck. You're a shitty homunculus of a fucking language. Yet, oh well. It's what we use. It's what we have to deal with. And by God. Like, native speakers, like, remember, English is a very, very difficult language because of this kind of bullshit. Words that sound the same or are written the same but are different. All of the exceptions to the rules and everything else and stuff like that. It's fucked. It's fucked. It's just fucked. Honestly. Anyway, a tear comes to your eye and a lump to your throat when she says that. If she really means it, you have a couple of suggestions. Of course, I'm glad at how abysmal things have been around here. When I'm Empress, things are going to be different. You respectfully wonder how long it'll be before she becomes Empress. Only a couple of thousand more sweeps. A few more thousand, eh? Oh cool, what happens to everyone alternately in that meantime? Feferi looks momentarily thoughtful. I don't know. I haven't thought of that part yet out. I guess I'm not equal to my big ideas. And what if when she becomes Empress, she feels differently? How does she know her imperious condescension didn't feel the same way as Feferi does now when she was her age? What if there's something that makes adult Empresses evil? Something they can't control? What if Feferi grows up to be socially liberal, but fiscally conservative? What a horrible thought. You have to strike while the iron is hot. Never leave till tomorrow what you can do today. A stitch in time saves 9. Procrastination is the thief of time. The longest journey starts with a single step. It's no use crying over spilled milk. You hope Feferi has been convincing because you're running out of cliches. There we go. Galab. The heiress still looks uncertain. Everything you say is plumb and true, but rebelling against the Empress, it would be so dangerous. I'm not sure it would be right. It might cause... What? What the fuck am I even about to read? It might cause glub. Fuck it, I'm replacing the apostrophe with an O. Glub to make the vast glub. That would destroy everyone, Glub. The all-destroying entity. Glub. Yeah. Executive decisions. I don't make these often enough, I should. It's glub. Oh, glub, you mean gulp. You didn't realize that. You're not sure what the vast gulp is, but it sounds bad. Oh, it is. Before you do another thing, we need more guidance and advice. As heiress, I have a special metaphysical periscope, Okay, you didn't know that. No, what the fuck is a metaphysical periscope? It sounds made up. Well, no shit, everything's made up, but still. But a little metaphysical advice certainly might come in handy at a time like this. Without further delay, the heiress goes to an ornate, jewel-encrusted tube that arises from the floor of her palatial bedroom. It seems to extend into the underwater depths. though air pressure seems to be keeping the water from flowing through it into the room. She yells into the tube, louder than you would have thought someone so agreeable looking could yell. There's a swooshing, gurgling sound, and something extends up through the tube into the room. Something pale and featureless as elusive but unmistakably a tentacle. A tentacle with a bulbous eye on the end of it. You die behind a luxurious sofa. You'd rather that the heiress's luces didn't see how plump and tasty you look. But we're a stick man. We're not that plump or tasty. But almost immediately the eye settles itself on top of the tube and hardens into something that looks like a very large crystal ball. Shapes move and change inside this crystal ball. Then they resolve themselves into a scene you recognize. You realize with a shock. You come out from behind the sofa and approach the crystal ball, staring into it. Ooh. I do like this pixel, it's very neat, it's very cute. In its depths a dark place appears. And in the dark place a carnival carousel rotates, wooden horses going up and down, and above them naked plastic mannequins with plastic wings hang from wires. The dark carnival. Jumping in Jehoshaphat. Is that where Feferi gets her metaphysical advice? The scene grows clearer and closer, zooming in on one of the horses, and on a figure riding it. Your heart begins to beat wildly. It can't be. But... Onk. Suddenly, you're dancing around the room with joy. You grab Feferi and whirl her with you as you dance. At first she gasps in surprise, but then she gets into the spirit, grins and begins to whirl too. Yeah. Her strength is such that she spins you like a fan blade, your blood all going to your legs, and when she lets you go, you hit the wall like a bullet and ooze down to the floor. But as you recover consciousness, your joy is barely containable. You never thought to see that sweet, sweet fellow again, but now here he is, and evidently he's come up within the world, because he's communicating exclusively with a royal fuchsia blood princess. You're so proud your heart feels about to explode. My friend Glub here. They have a plan. Well, you wouldn't go that far. No, we have reached the end of our plan, basically, haven't we? I'm just not sure what to do. Honk, 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 honk. Just hold on. Feferi adjusts some controls on the bejeweled tube. They must be translation controls, because in mid-sentence, Karako's remarks change from semantic honks into conventional language forms. And when they do, you realize that this isn't the same Karako you knew way back then when. Honk honk, what you ask is not simple, little one. To truly know the answer, you must learn that there is much more to your story than meets the eye. You must expand your vision to see the big picture, and the even bigger picture of which that big picture is only a pixel. Ah, yes, I know that. This isn't the usual glubsit. This isn't the usual glub shit. Fucking, the be a boss, bleh. Not silly quad and glub shit for wrigglers. I need some real answers here. I already forgot what voice I did before, and now it's different now. That's just the thing, deal with it. You study Karako. He's obviously the same troll, but the changes in him are equally obvious. His eyes are deep as wells, his face grave and kind. Either he's done a lot of reading and undergone a lot of life experience since you last saw him, or else he's become the honking mouthpiece of some vast mythical wisdom-type entity which offers metaphysical advice to princesses. Perhaps whatever personal process sustains the Dark Carnival. But how did Karako get that job? You wave madly at Karako as he and the heiress talk, but either he doesn't see you, or he no longer knows you, or he thinks imparting serious metaphysical advice is too solemn an occasion for waving like a maniac. Either way, he ignores you and keeps talking. Does a troll who paddles an oar vessel down a rushing river control her own fate? Or does the river control her? If you have an oar, you have a degree of control. You can beach the boat and just fucking walk onto the shore, fuck the river. The answer is, of course, both. The river has its force, but within that the troll can move her boat where she will. You are the heiress, and thus the fate that sweeps you along is vast and swift and powerful, but also your arms are strong, your oar vessel stout. Do not despair of your own strength. That's excellent advice. Thank you, Karko. Yet, there is more. There's more. There's always more. We see by mystic means that the rushing river you navigate is itself being swept along by an unimaginably vast, rushing cosmic river, and that the planet which that vast cosmic river traverses itself being swept along an even infinitely greater super cosmic river. Alright. There are many such metaphorical cosmic meta-river levels in this particular instantation of the story. Thus, even if you row with utmost power to change your course on the river you are navigating, the river you can see, the other meta-rivers continue to sweep you on as before, without regard for any tiny adjustments you may make down at your level. That's correct, but all great rivers come from tiny little ones that converge and expand and gather. So, there is no point to feel like your efforts are meaningless, because they can, eventually down the line, influence the greater river as a whole. Indeed, and he says the same, yet do not despair, you may yet through long and deep meditation transcend the bounds of this small world, rising higher and higher so that you are able to see and comprehend and transcend those vast and meta-vast cosmic river levels one by one. And what you can see, you can learn how to navigate, using meta-vessels and meta-ores fashioned from meta-cosmic star stuff. Right, that's not exactly helpful, you know. It's encouraging and motivating, but it's not actually practical advice, now is it? Yet also remain humble. Above the creator of this world is yet another creator, and above him yet another creator greater than even him, and above her yet another creator. Okay, so there's just a lot of layers and levels. Like, this is becoming quite useless, honestly. This is kind of useless. These vast powers move all things like pieces on a chessboard. Yet, if the chess pieces grow wise enough, they may move the movers. The powers that move in these universes, upon universes, are unimaginably large, and as yet you are unimaginably small. Yet nonetheless, for that, you in your smallness and your small world are indispensable. Like a key piece at the bottom of an infinitely tall Jenga tower. I mean, yeah, if you are just a quark inside an atom, that's, you know, part of a molecule, that's part of a chain of molecules or whatever. Sure, you may seem small, but, you know, without the quark, there is no atom. Well, all those quarks, or whatever the fuck they are called. No. Like, you know, so it's very important. The smallest pieces are what make up the greater whole. Without the tiny pieces, there is no greater whole. So, knowing these things, do you wish to undertake the great work of awakening and enlightenment that will bear you into the full light of reality? It is a work of millions of mantras, thousands of sweeps, and hundreds of lives. Or, knowing these things, do you instead choose to ply your vessel in the waters of your own world, remaining the person life has made you? Red pill, blue pill. Remaining a key yet unknowing piece in the towering stack of universes, influencing your own destiny on your corporeal river, swept to destinations beyond your understanding and fulfillment of the larger story. Either choice is noble, little one. Your only duty and burden is to choose the one that seems best to you. Feferi turns to you. It's clear that both courses described by the wise one speaking through Karako hold attraction for her, and that she's on a razor edge between them. The merest word from you will be enough to lead her in one direction or the other. Which way do you choose to lead her? Influence the heiress to choose the path of meditation and transcendence, or influence the heiress to choose the path of worldly action and accomplishment? I'm a man of action here. Action! Well chosen, little one. Step forward and tell your marshmallow-like companion to step forward too. A helpmate to share in your worldly efforts is a blessing, and they seem a noble and loyal marshmallow, though a bit manic in the hand-waving department. Look, look. You and Feferi step forward, and Karako's hand comes right out of the crystal ball, divides in two, and makes gestures of blessing over your heads. You immediately feel strength and courage coursing through you, and as the loosest tentacle turns back into an eye and withdraws from the tube, you turn to look into Feferi's sparkling eyes, and you see that she is feeling the same intrepid energy. Hell yeah! Yay! I think a good portion of that was Glub's shit, but still. I mean, fair enough. She has an really good point somewhere in there. We can't just be canoes, we have to be fish. Even if at the end of the day we are just little minnows, we'll be whales to someone. You start to grab her for the dance, but recalling your previous experience, quickly turn the gesture into an upward high five, which she slaps, breaking several bones in your hand. What shall we do, you ask her? What's our plan? You feel the ability to accomplish any plan fairly overflowing from you. You'll have to introduce her to Terezi and Vriska to start off with, at least. Yes. Glub, but first I need time to think. I'm so excited. I'm sure the purpose of your visit was to reveal the whale of a destiny that awaits us. But we need to consider our next move. Consider fucking... puns and the weird H. Fuck. It. Look, I'm sorry I'm bringing this up again, but it's fucking with my brain, okay? I don't have enough brain capacity to not be fucked over by this. Will you come back and visit me again soon after some tides have passed? Then we can compare notes. Yay, glub. This is going to be fun. Yeah. Noble worldly partnership victory. Fuck yeah. Well, this was nice. This was fun. Yeah. Hell yeah. Partnership. Victory. We're gonna change the world. Hell the fuck yes. Alright. No, okay. Quick little break. Little breaky for me. And then we'll get back to the show. Alright? Ta-ta.